Greetings, friends. What is it they say about March? That it comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb? Well, here in Chicago, we've had a number of unseasonably warm days in late February and early March. In fact, we've had a couple of days where we've tipped over 70 degrees. I can't remember it ever being that warm this early in the year. So I guess what I'm wondering is, if March comes in like a lamb, will it go out like a lion? I guess time will tell if we hear some roaring in a few weeks. The one thing I know for sure is there will be a great deal of volatility with our weather. Probably not just the spring, but going forward in general. I've had the pleasure of spending some of my winter in Florida this year. Last month I told you I just returned from a visit with my mom in Boca Raton. As I sent out this month's video blog, I am also just recently returning from Florida and have only one more visit left in the middle of March before we switch over to spring in Chicago and my mom returns to the Twin Cities for the summer. After being home for a couple of days this time, I realized that I started to feel a bit more relaxed. I've mentioned that travel can be challenging for me at times because I'm so used to having a routine in my daily life. Living with multiple sclerosis requires me to have a lot of standards and practices that stay in the same order on a regular basis. Any kind of travel makes these routines more difficult. I've also noticed something else this time. When I'm away from home, I don't breathe as well as I normally breathe. I wish I had discovered this while I was in Florida, so I could have done something differently. But as I settled into being at home, I noticed how much deeper and consistent my breath rhythm is at home. I am certainly no advanced breathwork practitioner, but there is something of great value in taking a few deep breaths to get yourself grounded. I love my morning meditation practice where I get myself grounded for the day. I happen to do my morning meditation practice while I'm still lying in bed, but I do notice how much more grounded I feel throughout the day when I am aware of the need to breathe deeply. Speaking about being grounded, as spring comes, another way that I like to feel grounded is to walk outside barefoot in the grass. There is something special about feeling cool grass directly in contact with the bottom of your feet. It's like I'm directly connecting with Mother Earth and drawing in her positive energy. For what it's worth, it's not too bad to walk barefoot in the sand while you're in Florida either. As much as I like being barefoot, I also love socks. Just the other day, I noticed someone wearing a really cool pair of smart wool socks with blue, black, and white stripes on them. Socks are really interesting, aren't they? I've got my practical socks that I wear for my workouts. I've got my dressy socks that I wear for special occasions. I've got my fun socks that I wear for biking, the ones with colored daisies or yin-yang symbols, or my favorite hot pink socks with lime green skulls. I even have my new nighttime socks, which I saw in an ad which said they help correct bunions. I wear them at night while I sleep, and they must be doing something because my foot pain has been dramatically decreased. I think you can tell a lot about a person when you look at what kind of socks they wear. Mind you, I'm not judging anyone for wearing basic socks, but if you know me well, I'm all about a little pizzazz and personality, and that shows up in things like my earring choices, my eyeglass choices, and even in my socks. So, you may be wondering how all this random stuff that I'm talking about this month fits together. How is it that talking about the weather in March, taking deep breaths, and wearing fun socks can fit together to deliver some sort of meaningful message about life like I try to do in these monthly video blogs? Well, here's how. When it comes to things like the weather and having to be out of your element when you travel, it all just really comes down to the fact that I have to get more comfortable surrendering the need to control things that are completely out of my control. Regardless of the situations that are going on in my life currently, there's always time for a few deep breaths. There's always time to pause and find some way to ground yourself in the moment. The choice is always yours. You can either try to control your circumstances, your external circumstances, or you can focus on your internal circumstances and find a way to get centered. And it certainly doesn't hurt if you're wearing fun socks while you're doing it. Well, that's all for this month. Looking forward to the first video blog of the spring next month in April. And stay tuned for more information about the progress of my book. I'm super excited about lots of things in life, and I hope you are too. Ciao, ciao for now.